that I did in 2 minutes,
All right.
meeting 3 people.
Romanus is my name.
Okay,
You are trying
Romanus,
to gain
nice to meet you.
attention.
Try to
You
gain
are trying to gain
attention.
attention.
That's very good. Yeah, gain attention, know my audience. But in knowing my audience, I've met 3 people. I met a beautiful lady, I met an allergy, and I met an Igbo man. And all of those people, I try to interact with them. So for the beautiful ladies, I said, if I had a million. And one of the reasons why I said that if I had a million is because it is presumed that ladies like money. True of us. True of us.
True. True, sir.
True.
True.
Okay. All right. So when I was talking to the lady, just to catch her attention, the strategy was talk about money. If you're not talking about money to a lady, the next thing you want to talk about is beauty. Now, when the allergy came in and said Ibrahim, immediately I heard the name Ibrahim. I know Ibrahim was a Muslim. So the next thing I said was, I hope you are fasting. He said, sure. I will have said Assalamu alaikum to him, right? So that's the second day. Then the third person came in and he said, I am Chukudi. Is it Chukudi? I hope I didn't forget the name. But he was an Igbo man. And the next thing I said was Kedu Odima, right? That was because I connected to him based on language. Now, so strategy is very, very key for your business. You need to be able to know your audience, very, very important. But beyond knowing your audience is about how do you connect to them, right? How do you connect to them? If you are doing business and you do not, even if you know your audience and you have a good product, but you don't know how to connect or what point in which you're going to connect to that person, you may not get the best out of that business, right? I tell everybody that if you understand strategy, you will be able to achieve results in anything that you do, whether you are providing services or you are consulting or whatever you're doing, as long as you have a strategy that works. So, and before any strategy can work, there must be proper planning, right? There must be proper planning. Now, in your planning phase, one of the questions you ask, we're going to look at some of these things now. I'm just going to run straight is number one, what do I have? Who do I want to offer the services to or the business to? In the middle, how do I connect to these people? Right? How do I connect to these people? I'm sure some of you have met me for 5 minutes now, and within 5 minutes, you're already making your assumption, presumption, you're already making your perception. What kind of guy is this guy? Is he a medical doctor? Is he a doctor of philosophy? What exactly is he? Okay, let's see what he even has to say. Is he making sense so far? For two, in the last 5 minutes, let me do a review. Have I said anything that makes sense in the last 5 minutes? Feedback. Please feel free to talk. I don't have to call him. Have I said anything that makes sense in the last 5 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
What have you learned? What have you learned in the last 5 minutes? Anybody?
You said
Yeah.
strategy. Before strategy, you have to have a plan before strategy.
Okay. What again did I say?
I have learned that know your audience and how to connect to them. So I've learned that one. And if you understand the strategy that works, there must be a proper planning. So I've grabbed that one, sir.
Okay. That's very good. Thank you very much. I'm glad I'm making sense. So in the next few minutes, I'm just going to talk about certain things for business planning and strategy. We're supposed to talk about business plan. Somebody else will take that. I won't really talk about. I'll just make mention of that. I'll made a mention a bit about market analysis, right? And as part of your strategy, your organizational structure, very, very key. I'm going to talk about a bit of products and services, and then a bit of marketing. All right. Now, Like I said, it's interactive, so I won't do a lot of talking. So can somebody tell me what strategy is? Let's go into it in the discussion. What is strategy? Anybody? What is strategy?
Yeah, if you ask me, strategy is it is something that and anything one wants to do, then he have to plan for it very well and know the market view on that particular product.
Okay. Then what is business planning? Somebody else. What is business planning? When you say you're driving business plan, what does it mean? What is business planning? I believe everybody here has a business, so we should understand what business plan. What is business planning? Oh, I wish I could log into my computer, but I'm using my phone, so I'm not able to see. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? Please, anybody?
Okay, to my own
We have 1
understanding,
hour,
sir.
so we're not rushing.
To
Yeah,
my
go on,
own,
please.
hello, sir.
Yeah, Mushkil. Go
Okay,
on, please.
to my own understanding, I think business plan is simply the plan of the business from what the business will be doing, what the services they will offer to people, and probably the goods as well, the number of staffs, their mission, their vision, their objectives, you know, the total remuneration and every other thing about the business, the number of staff they wish to have, and how much to be happy to be getting, the total income and everything.
Please,
Thank you.
who is speaking? What's the name of this person?
My name
Who
is
is speaking?
Ogechi.
Okay, G, are you sure you're not staring? Are you sure you're not staring into my notes? Eh?
No, I'm actually on the road. Now let me do my video.
No, just kidding. All right, so business. I'm trying to log in now so that I can see who is speaking. Just give me a quick second. Okay, because I am not able to see, and I don't want to be guessing who is speaking. USG. Don't worry, we have about an hour, so we have time. Okay, YEED participant. Okay, I'm trying to log in now. Okay, so while I'm trying to log in, so business. Okay, I'm just okay. Okay, so I can see everybody now. I can see myself. I can see Ekele. Okay, please feel free. You can turn on your video if you want to. It's allowed. Don't worry. I can see everybody now. So business planning basically involve, like the last speaker said, setting objectives, right? Analyzing the current situation, and basically looking at plans to achieve what you set out to achieve, right? That is planning. So when you are planning something, business planning is about what the business is about and how you tend to achieve the objective, basically. Okay. Now, why is it important to have a business plan? Anybody? Ayo. So please, I'm going to be calling everybody and I can see your names now. Ayo, why is it important to have a business plan? Or to have a plan for your business? You need to unmute yourself, Ayo. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
It's important to have a business plan so you will know how to go about it, because you can't just venture into any business without knowing your strategy or without knowing how to go about it. You have to know.
So what business do you do, Ayo? What business do you
Okay,
do?
I'm a manufacturer. I manufacture bags, different kinds of bags. That's what I do for both male and
Okay.
female. Yeah.
Oh, so you make bags, right?
Yes, I make bags.
Okay, so why is it important? Why is it important for you to have a plan for that business?
So I will know my direction.
Direction, yes. What again?
I
What
will know
again?
my direction, and how will I put it now? I will know my direction, and I will have a, you have to have a vision for what you are doing. You can't go into
Hmm.
something blindfolded. You have to know your vision. You have to have a direction. You have to know. You have to strategize. You have to know if really you want to go into that, what you are going into.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
all of
Ayo,
that.
thank you. Thank you. So I keep hearing direction, what you want to achieve, where you are going, the long term. So most of what you are saying basically is about that a business plan or having a plan for your business helps you majorly in decision making, helps you
Yes.
in guiding your decision to where you want to be, right?
Yes, sir.
And most
Yes, sir.
importantly, as it relates to business, who you want to reach out to and how best you can reach out to them, right? All right, thank you very much. So a well-structured business plan and strategy help you in securing funding. It helps you in decision making, and most importantly, it helps you for sustainability. Right? If you don't have a well-defined plan for your business, that business, even though may be doing well, but may not last. And that's why we see some business they come in 1 or 2 years and they are gone. But then you see some business that have been there for 100 years. That's because those business have sustainability plan for growth, right? Any business that does not have a well solid plan will not succeed. You know, they say if you fail to plan, what happens?
You
You
plan to
plan to
fail.
what?
To fail.
To fail. So if you are here today and you don't have a plan for your business in the next 1 or 2 years or 5 years, like we say, the midterm, and then 10 years on the long run, then you can be rest assured that if President Tinubu or the Jagaban brings about any policy, then that business can die. But somebody who has a plan for the business, for example, says, okay, if work today is 2,000 and my business survive, you are not waiting for fuel or gas, like we call it here, to be 1,000. You're already making that plan now. And you have factored that plan into your business to say, in the next 10 years, it is possible that so things may happen. What do I do? Will this business close, or will I remodify what I'm doing? In the next 5 years or 10 years ago, we didn't have social media, but currently we have social media, right? So in the next 15 years, what will happen to the landscape? And that's some of the things about what sustainability growth plan, which you bring into your plan environmental factors, right? And when we're talking about environmental factors, we're talking about both the technological issues, the legal aspects, the social construct, and a lot of things, right? So it is very, very important that if there is one thing you want to take home today from what I'm going to say or we're going to learn, is that you need to have a well-defined plan or a strategic plan for your business. Where are we today? Where do you want to see ourselves in 5 years? Where do you want to see yourself in 10 years? That's the first stage. Then the other part, which is the strategy aspect, is how do we achieve these set goals? And that's where strategies will come in. All right. Now, so don't forget that a well-structured business plan will help you in your decision making, will help you even secure funding, and most importantly, will help you to what, have sustainable growth. How you can compare someone that is doing well with someone that's not doing well is having a strategic plan. All right. So what we are doing today is how are we able to have this plan? All right. So what are the processes? Now, like I said, somebody is going to tell you how to draw a business plan. I'm not going to do that. Where you do the business description, market analysis. Under market analysis, you are looking at, okay, who are my target audience, right? What is my selling point? What is my unique value? What am I bringing to the table? What is my business bringing to the table? Are your sales back? What will make somebody see my bag? I want to pick it. Is it the price? Is it the quality? Right? And so on and so forth. So then under your business plan, of course, organizational structure comes in. So I'll just skip that. Let's quickly go to the where I'm going to strategic planning process. Right? So when we're talking about strategy basically tells you the things you put in place to achieve what you want to achieve. Right? Now, so what are the processes that are involved in strategic planning? Most of the time, when we use the word strategic, we are talking about long time, not short time, long time sustainability. So, what are those things that will help you set up a strategic plan for your business? The first thing we need to know is that we need to define the vision and the mission for that business. Now, does somebody want to tell me the business they do? Amaka, are you there?
Amaka is here, sir. I'm here, sir.
Amaka, what do you do?
Okay, I'm a professional and trained linguist, but currently I like to refer to myself
Professional what?
And trained linguist. I'm a linguist.
Linguist. Okay. Do you do that as a business?
I'm not currently practicing. So currently, I refer to myself as a linguistic Wi-Fi-preneur.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much. I want somebody that's actually doing business because we want to go through this process together. So we're looking at strategic planning processes.
Now,
Is there anybody that's doing business?
Yes, hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Who wants to go? I don't know.
Hello, sir. Amaka is still speaking, sir.
Okay, Amaka. Okay. Amaka did not disappoint. So let me speak with Amaka now. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
Amaka is there. All right.
Okay, let me try to explain what I mean by Wi-Fi.
I'm with you.
Okay. So what I mean is I sell stuff online. Like
Online.
I sell house. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I meant by Wi-Fi-preneur. Yes. So I'm actually in business. I've been in business for over 5 years.
Oh, great. So let's start with you. 5 years. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
So I sell.
That's good. What do you sell?
I sell household items. I sell gift items. I sell souvenirs and furniture and general merchandise. Whatever goes with my line.
So what? All right. So Amaka sells everything. Amaka is jack of all trades, sells everything, anything sellable. So Amaka, why should I come and buy from you? Why?
Okay, you should buy from me because
there are plenty of people selling. Why?
There is prompt delivery. Prompt delivery in the sense that you place your order.
Let me be taking notes. Prompt delivery.
Yes, you place your order and you
what again? Prompt delivery.
There is a uniqueness of product. Uniqueness of product. Yes.
Okay.
And price.
What
affordability.
Again?
Affordability and good customer service.
Good. Okay. So Amaka, do you have a website?
Not yet, sir.
Do you have an Instagram page?
Not yet, sir. It's not active actually. I do, but it's not active. I'm more active on Facebook.
Okay. So do you have a TikTok page?
No, sir. Like I said, I'm more active on Facebook.
On Facebook. Okay, so you have a Facebook account.
Yes, sir.
So it means that your audience are just Facebook ads. You are fighting with those of us that are Instagram and those of us that are on TikTok and those of us on WhatsApp. That's what you are telling us.
The truth is, I'm just taking them one step at a time as I have been advised. So I'm more comfortable with Facebook for now. I'm looking to go into Instagram. Yes, I'm looking to go into Instagram when I have a better digital app. So for now, I'm just
and you've been in business for 5 years.
Yes, sir.
Now, so we are starting this strategic process now. This should have started 5 years ago. Now, when you were
Okay.
starting 5 years ago, what did you set out to achieve in 5 years?
In 5 years, I ought to have become
No, we are
major.
going back. No. We are going back because this should have happened
Okay.
5 years ago. So we are going back to where you wanted to start. What did you want to
Okay.
achieve in 5 years' time? Like
Yeah.
today, what did you plan to
What I
achieve?
wanted to achieve by today was to become a major distributor of the product that I sell. Major distributor in the
Okay.
sense that I have wholesalers and retailers coming to get their products from me. But
Okay.
life happened. Life happened, and so I'm
Life
like starting all over
happens.
again. Yes, yes. I'm starting
Okay, I
all
like that
over,
word.
and
I like that word. Life happens. Okay, that was very good. All right, thank you so much. I think I really get. So you in 5 years ago you set out to achieve to become a major distributor in 5 years. That looked like a
yes,
mid-time like goal, more like a long time goal. You can say it's a long time. Some say 3 years is mid-time. Short time is 1 year. So long time you plan to be a distributor. Now,
yes, sir.
quick one before I let you go, Amaka. What did you put in place to achieve being a distributor when you were planning 5 years ago?
Okay, at the time I was actually located in Port Harcourt, so I had actually gone ahead to open up 2 branches, but because, like I said, life happened, so the plans just flopped. So I'm
Okay.
starting over.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think I'll just stop there and we can bring us certain things, right? So the first step for any strategic planning, right, is to write your goals, your vision, and your mission down. Your vision, your mission, and then your goals. You need to clearly write them down. What do I see this business coming or becoming? If you go to any business you see that are thriving, they have a common goal. I just told you mine. Even though I have a very strong business etiquette, I make money. Any business I do, I make money. But my passion is non-profit, right? A bit of myself, when I was in medical school, I sold word coats. Before I got to medical school, I was teaching. I was not in university, but I was teaching university people. I would go there and make money. I was teaching house to house. And then by the time I got to medical school, I looked at it. We all have to wear white coats. So I started selling white coats. I had to sell mass dissecting sets. I had to do photocopy at some point. Those were businesses and I made good money. But every time I'm making money, I'm also spending that money to do humanitarian stuff. Right? Now, because my vision for life is not more of business, it's more of non-profit. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, so your vision and your mission statement for your business will determine what you do with and for your business. If the vision of your business is to reach out to all the people of the world through, let me look for an example now. If you plan that your service is going to be global, not just for Nigeria, not just local, then if that is your vision, then the strategy you will put in place will be different from somebody who just wants to do a business in a community. If all you want to do in a community is just to reach out that community, then your strategy can be mouth to mouth, house to house, knocking. But if you want to reach out to the world and your vision initially is to reach out to 7 billion people or 1 billion people, then you know that how will you do that? You will do not house to house. You will have to use the social media and not just Facebook. You're going to use all the social media possible: Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all the social media, because that is more like where you can reach out to multiple people. Now, so in having strategy, in the first thing is to have a clearly defined vision and mission. Mission is how you are going to achieve or breaking down your visions in specific terms. So my vision for my foundation is to making positive impact in the area of healthcare delivery. Straight, simple. To reach out to so in what area. There's certain thing about vision setting. I don't have the time to do that, but you can just go online and check all the companies that you see are doing well, or whatever industry that you are, and you want to be like a particular company. Go and look at the vision that that company has and learn from them. So, like Ayo that is into bag now, what is the biggest bag making company in Nigeria? What are they doing? Go and look at what strategy do they have or is in place. And the first place you want to start is, what is their vision? Their vision could be to reach out to 10 million people. It's different from a vision that wants to, okay, this is the best example we give when we talk about strategy. In RCCG, right? The vision that RCCG have, the vision is to reach out to all the people all over the world, to take as many people to heaven. And as part of their mission is that they want to have a church every 5 minutes walk. So it means that if you walk 5 minutes, you must see a redeemed church. Are we together?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
that vision and mission is different from Sele or from Deeper Life or from Living Faith. Living Faith or BLW, you see one church in a district, one big church. But in Redeem, in a street, you can see like 10 churches in one street. And by the time you walk, sometimes you can even see the same church opposite. But you can't blame them because that is the vision that they have. They tell you every 5 minutes walk, you must see a church. So you can't blame them. They are only working out their vision and their mission. The way in which you achieve your vision or your vision clearly broken down is into mission. Then we talk about objectives. Objectives are specific, how you intend to achieve those visions. You break them down. You can have like 3 or 4. Your big vision, you split them down to do this, to do that. And of course, there are action words to achieve this. Let's take Ayo also, for example. Ayo wants to sell back to the whole of Nigeria, right? That's your plan, Abi. Right? Am I right?
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
You want to have customers all over Nigeria,
Yes, sir.
right? But you don't have
Yes.
plan to sell to people in Ghana, right?
It's global. It's global.
Okay, so now let's come to you. So my vision is to sell bag globally. That's a broad statement, right?
Yes, sir.
So Ayo's bag to be the best supply of quality bag globally. That
Yes,
is the
sir.
vision. Now, so what will
Yes.
your mission be? What will your mission be? I've given you a vision, right? To be the world leading brand or the global brand to be the world supplier of best bag globally. I've given you a vision, right?
Yes, sir.
So what will be your mission?
Well, my mission is to reach out to as many people that are interested in bag making, as many that are interested in bag making, be it old or young, that are interested in bag making, bring them in, teach them how to make bags. And by so doing, by teaching them how to make bags, train them how to go about it, you are also you are also creating employment and making them useful to themselves and also to the society. That's my mission.
Now you are confusing me because in part of your mission you are already talking about empowerment, which is totally different from what you told me about supplying bags all over the world. You cannot be talking about empowerment when your vision is to be the highest, to be the global supplier of quality bags. So if you are breaking down your vision, number one, you're going to talk about something about supply. To be the best supplier of quality bags. To be number two, you're going to talk about to deliver quality service in a timely manner, because that is part of to be. If you want to be the best in supplying, you have to talk about the time too, right? To deliver quality bag services, to using the best means. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot bring empowerment into something that's not in your vision. Are you getting me now? However, you cannot say that in doing this, as part of your mission, in doing this, ensuring that there is respect, trust, and confidence, or all those things that people need, giving the best. How will I say it now? Delivering this in truth, in competence, in what other thing again? In fast-paced environment or something like that. So that when people read your mission, they will know that in you being the best, how you're going to achieve it will be that number one, you're going to be supplying through a very good supply chain. You're going to be giving quick delivery. You're going to be giving doing your business in integrity, in fast and reliable way. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Ayo.
Yes,
Right?
I'm with you, sir.
And I hope every other person is following. So the first stage in having a strategic policy or strategic plan in place is to define clearly your vision, your missions, and your goals and objective. Right? Now, the second thing is whatever you want to do, they say it every time, but what is the strengths that you currently have? What we say the SWOT analysis. What does your business have that will help your business to thrive? That is your strength. When we say the SWOT analysis, the weakness, opportunity, and threat. I mean, if your business is going to last for more than 5 years or going to last for long, you want to know what are the strengths that you have. For me, as a CEO of a foundation, is a health-based organization. I am a medical doctor. That is the strength. Two, I have a master's in public health. That's another strength. Three, I have plenty colleagues that I can call anytime I need them to go to the company. That's the strength. Four, I have a very good cordial relationship with a lot of people, even outside of medical world. That's five. So you have to analyze some of the strengths that can help your business to thrive. Is it relationship? Is it the skills? Is it the values? Right? And that's why when you see business, they will tell you these are our core values: integrity, transparency, accountability, all of those things. So those will be your strength. Now, the next one is in planning. What are the weaknesses? Weaknesses are those not necessarily things that are bad, but things that could affect your business, that are there. You can't do without, but knowing them help you to mitigate against them. Weaknesses. So what are the weaknesses that I have in my business? If you don't have money, you can't do philanthropy, right? If you don't have grant or support, you may not be able to achieve your result. Now, these are the weaknesses I'm looking at now. In Nigeria, people don't like to give. That is the weakness. So how do I do that? It means I can also, let me go and have a business that generates income. That income that I get, 10% of my income will go to running the foundation. Why? Because I identified that money is a weakness when it comes to humanitarian stuff. Now, your own weakness could be that in the environment that you have, there is no power, right? Your weakness could be that when you currently are, there's no good logistic chain supply and all of those things. Your weakness could also be that you don't have the expertise to achieve what you want to achieve. So what do you do with your weakness? You try to mitigate them. If you don't have the skills required to achieve where you want to be, what do? You go and learn. Now, part of this training, for example, is they're teaching you a lot of digital stuff, which could be a weakness. If you are like Amaka, for example, who wants to reach out to the whole of Nigeria and she's not on TikTok, that is a weakness. And she's not on Instagram, that is a weakness. Because more customers are also on that platform that will never know these things because they feel that Facebook is always easily to hack. So they're not there. So you must look at all the weaknesses and act on them. Now, your weakness could also open into the next one, which is the opportunities. What are the opportunities that are there? I tell you with all sincerity, one of the places in which you can make money in the world is Nigeria. That's the truth. If you're in Nigeria, that's why you see people every time they are coming to this country, coming because there's a lot of opportunities. We are over 200 million people. Over 200 million consuming people. We are a consumer nation. So anything that you are selling, there is a market for you in Nigeria. But how you get to them is being strategic. So what are the opportunities that lie for your business? I told you I'm not running a business, I'm running a foundation, so it's not easy. But when I was running a business, I saw an opportunity. By the way, I do business, I consult, I do a lot of stuff now. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do digital marketing, I do streaming. Sometimes I make up to 1 million streaming platform when I'm doing Zoom and all of those things for people. I do, of course, consultation medically and everything. So what are opportunities that are there is what helps your business to reach out to them. But if you don't identify this opportunity, I was going to give an example of my medical school. When I got in 200 level, we're buying textbook. I'm going to Yaba. I know that they all will get textbook, and I asked the woman, please, what are the textbook? How much are they? And she told me. And I told her, wholesale price, how much is it? And she said, for you, I can remove 500 naira. Right? So I said, no problem. So I bought a book for 3,000 at that point, and I was selling to my colleagues at 4,500 naira. I would buy stethoscope for 7,000 at that point, and I was selling it to them at 13,000 naira. Can you imagine? 13. I was making double of that price on stethoscope. For the word code, I wasn't the one making it. The man would just bring it. And for each one, it would give me at 800, and I was selling at 1,200 at that point. I can't remember. Because minimum I can make if I want to do this at that point is 500. If it's not 500, I cannot do. Right? And imagine I have a class of over 200 people. An average person will buy more than two word codes. So from each person, I was making 1,000 naira. Now, why were they buying from me? Because I was trustworthy. This guy is a guy. And I kid you not, I made so much money, more than 500,000 in just a few months. When we became a doctor, people needed to do word code, and another business came in. The man that was supplying me was delaying. What did I do? I went to Yaba. I went to learn how much they make this, how much is the material. Okay, I saw a tailor. Can you do this? Please, can you teach me how to measure? Right? Now, you can see all the strategy, how my strategy came to making money. He taught me, okay, this is the bust. You do this. I learned tailoring work, how to measure. So I would take that measurement and I would go to Yaba, and that was how I started doing scrubs and word coats by myself. And I was making much more money than I was making when the man was supplying me. And this time around, I was more prompt. Opportunities. So as part of your strategic plan, what are the opportunities that are there now, not just now, in the next 5 years? What other opportunities do you see that will open that you have to key into it now? When you're talking about strategic planning, you're looking at what can I put in place now towards the future. So that was when I asked Amaka, what did you put in place 5 years ago that will have materialized now? Because if you don't put it now, 5 years will be late, because those who already planned for it now will be reaping the benefit because They already put it in place. When COVID happened, a lot of church had problem because they could not do anything. But those churches that had online platforms, Zoom and YouTube, they were still meeting. Before some of them say they saying you cannot be, you have to come physically. But when they saw that those who had church and had online banking, all of them jumped on. That was an opportunity, right? And last but not least, under your SWOT analysis for planning is what are the traits? What are those things that can kill your business? What are the things that can challenge your business? What are those things that if care is not taken, your business may die? Nigeria, we know that number one is power. True of us. True of us. You know, if you are doing a business and you are buying, there's no light, and you are buying fuel for 100 naira, and now fuel is now 1,000 times 10. You cannot increase the price of your bag from 500 to 5. Nobody will buy it. So that's the trade. So what do you do in terms of your trade? Now, trade could also be competitors. Who are those that are doing what I'm saying doing? For cowbell, you have picnic, but those people understand their competition. How do you now do? Is that you reduce your price or you find a way around it? All right. Now, you guys have different business, but it's left for you to know what the threats are. I don't know if anybody wants to tell me is your business and how they have done a SWOT analysis to know what strength do you have in your business? What is the weakness? What is the weakness? What is the opportunity that you see? And what are the threats? Anybody wants to share with us? All right, I've shared my own already. I've told you about the business I've done. Right? Anybody wants to share? Let me look at. Okay, yeah. Kasimir, you want to share with us? Your video is on. Can you share how, if you have ever done a SWOT analysis on your business?
Yeah. I'm into interior and exterior decoration. I do POP installation,
Okay.
wallpaper
That's good.
installation, painting, and all the rest, screening. So
That's good.
at a point when I wanted to learn about POP installation, first of all,
Mhm.
I have a friend, and he does that. So at a point, I said no. I would like to know how to take the square meter of the POP measurement. So I learned it from someone. So any site I went to, I would tell them that I do POP. So they will ask me, okay, I should measure it. After then, I will measure and write the estimate, and then the whole thing will come out good. And I did the first time, the second time. So, and the thing is thriving up to this moment. So, and my weak and my weakest point is that sometimes, when I want to write the materials, and it may not be exactly the same thing we need, and like my kind of job, and you may not write exactly what they need, so it's either it's enough or it's not enough, so that has been how it's going on my side. But on a social media, I'm in WhatsApp and Facebook. I'm not other active on Instagram. So, and I'm planning to come in on that
What
fully.
opportunities do you see? What opportunities do you see in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I am seeing opportunity of having my own company, um, uh, um, to taking a contract from estates, to install on them for them, sorry, and to make a giant strike as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Casting, for sharing. Now, as we were speaking, if I have your if I have your strength, which is your expertise, right? If
Yes, sir.
I know how to do what you do,
Okay.
I'm looking at what opportunities do I have now? Because from what I've seen now, I know your weakness already as we're speaking. And so me as a competitor, if I want to come in today, I'm already seeing
sir.
things that you're not seeing.
Okay.
And this is the difference. So I'm like, okay, strength. Now I will go and learn what you learn. So we know the same thing. We are on the same expertise. But the
Okay.
opportunities I will be thinking is, all these housing, these people that are always building estates, all these estate people, right? What if I have a deal with Revolution Now or Andron Homes that build luxury homes, and then I know that they have like 1,000 apartments they want to build, and I'm giving them 10% of my stuff. That means that in a year I could be doing like over 1,000 houses. And imagine I'm making like 1,000, 100,000 from that amount. How much would that be? Now look at the opportunities I'm thinking about.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you've ever thought of that opportunities that are there, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that?
Yes, and currently now, I have a real estate rector that I am working under currently, and anytime he calls me for job, you know, he has his own percentage and a discount, so I remove from him. So
Okay.
and I'm
Okay.
looking for more opportunities on that.
More rectors, right? All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So part of the opportunities is when you look at and then you now say, okay, I have one rector now. I think if I'm able to set up a business, I can have up to 10 rectors, and I know that I don't have to be the only one doing this job. Then I can hire more people, right? And then for all of those things, you're making more money and your business is growing. So in the next 5 years,
Yes,
if this is what you already have in plan, and you start working to it, in the first 1 or 2 years, you get 3 rectors. In the next 3 years, you got 4 rectors. Now, what
yes, sir.
happens to your business is going to be growing,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
that is the importance of you doing a SWOT analysis when you're having a strategic plan.
Okay.
You know your strength according as what you plan. Then you're planning, you are looking at your strength, you're looking at your weakness, you're looking at the opportunities, and then you're looking at the threats. Now, every business have different threats, different competition. Another threat, of course, could be economic downturn, right? And then
Yes,
sometimes
sir.
it could be regulation. Some regulatory stuff can come and say, if you don't have this. So imagine now what you are doing. If there's a regulation that says that before you can do that, you have to be a registered urban planner, what happens to you? It means that you're automatically out of business.
Out of
Because
business.
I don't know what you are, but I don't think you're an urban planner,
No.
right? I
Yes,
don't
sir.
think you're an architect. So
No, sir.
the threat could be regulatory changes. So you must look at in the next 5 years what is currently happening now. What is the politics saying? What can happen in the next 5 years? Don't wait till it happens. Start planning towards it now.
Okay.
Nigeria's life in the next 5 years will not be good. We all know that. It's not a cut
Yes, sir.
because we don't the count currently that we have currently now, we don't see anything happening. So what are you going to put in place? Is this solar? What are you going to invest in that will help your business and will reduce your cost of production? Right? But if you are waiting that one president or one governor will come, they will just declare state of emergency and your business will just close. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes,
you
sir.
have to plan towards that. All right.
Okay.
So that's the second thing I want to know. Still, last but not least, or for this, let's just move on.
Okay.
In having a plan, your business must have a model to work on.
Model. Okay.
Must have a model. What model are you working with? There are different business models. There are different business models. One of those models that you've seen every time is when we talk about franchise,
Okay.
right? You go there, you see what's the current franchise in Nigeria now that everybody shop right, which is a South African franchise, right? DSTV. And that's a model. Now, but you need to, when you're planning, you must plan what model your business is going to run with. If you are what is this thing called now? Is this sole entrepreneur? What do they call it now?
So
What do they call this sole business entrepreneur, right?
yes, sir.
If you are a sole entrepreneur, you sole proprietor, thank you very much. You know that you cannot expand beyond certain level. It's not possible.
Yes, sir.
Because it will
Yes,
just
sir.
die. What was your family will just run. At some point, you need to expand to either become a limited liability company or you become a PLC, a public liability company. Now, when you become public, you grow more because more people can invest in that business. And
Yes.
you cannot expand if it's so, no matter how strong you are, at some point you have to expand. So, what model are you using? Now, I don't know how many of you know Tim Hortons. Okay, no, you don't know Tim Hortons because Tim Hortons is here in the US, is here in Canada. I don't think we'd have Tim Hortons in Nigeria. But let me look at what do we have in Nigeria that's also in abroad. Can somebody tell me what do we have in Nigeria that's abroad? Anybody? What business do we have in UK or in Canada that's in Nigeria? GSTV is South Africa. What? Anybody? Sorry?
KFC.
KFC. Oh, do we have McDonald's? Do we have McDonald's in Nigeria?
No, McDonald's is not in Nigeria.
Okay, so KFC. Yeah, KFC. Now KFC is in Nigeria, right? Now, I'm not surprised KFC is in Nigeria. They will be in Nigeria because their vision allowed them to be in Nigeria. Right? Because some vision does not allow you to pass your region. Because when you are planning, if you want to expand to different regions, don't forget you're also going to look at the laws that bans the business, right? So I think KFC's vision is global. That's why they're in Nigeria. Okay, but what model are they using to run? Is it the CEO that is running the business in Nigeria? No, it's a franchise. It's an establishment of which one is BK? Winifred, which one is BK? Winifred, what's BK? Burger King. Oh, it's Burger King in Nigeria now. Oh, interesting. Okay. Now, so you need, if you are going to have a strategic plan, you also have to factor in what model you want to do. Some people do this delivery stuff. Some people, instead of them having logistics, they have their own logistic company. Yeah, Cadbury, that's very true. Cadbury, those ones have been there chopping Nigerian money. But now they are recording losses too, right? So your business model is very, very important. For Messi now, who wants to do business in bags, you cannot be doing that business in Lagos and you don't have a model, a business model. You want them to get your bag in Zamfara, where there is Boko Haram. It's your business model that will determine how is that you now go and have a factory, right, in Zamfara or somewhere close by, or you have a central point where you produce, and then there's a supply or logistic chain all around the country, right? You must have a model. If your business wants to grow and if your business is going to survive that long, then you must have a business model. There are different business models which you can read about and choose the one that works for you. But being a sole proprietor is just the beginning. But as you expand, you need to diversify and bring in some models. All right. Now, very, very key again, as regards your strategic planning, is leadership. Leadership. Now, you cannot run a business and then every proceed that come out of the business, you used to go and buy human ear, or you used to do Owambe, or you just take money from your business and then you used to do dirty December, right? Or what again do you do? Or you just spend money. That is terrible leadership and that is terrible financial management. Somebody is going to tell you about financial management. That's not my role, right? If you're having a strategic plan, you must have strong leadership. And what leadership do? Leadership draw out a plan, help implement, and most importantly, evaluate. All right. Strong leadership, no business or no organization can grow beyond the capacity of the leadership of that company. If you are a wasteful leader, that company will die. But if you are a person who is strategic, so that whatever income that comes in, you plug it back into that business. I remember when I started the business of what was it called now, media stuff. I had to register a consulting stuff, and I was providing. I bought a camera, I bought a tripod stand. The first job I got was 20,000, right? I bought a speaker, I bought wires. I still have those things now. All those things I bought, I was, as the money were coming, I did it. What happened is that my production even got better, right? And when they saw it, I started getting more clients. Now imagine if I get the 250K, the first job I got, 250,000 bound. And I just went to chop. I won't be able to get those gadgets. And what happened to the business? The business will die, right? So in having a strategic plan, you must be into the future so that whatever business plan that you have, whatever income, because of strong leadership that you have, then they can channel it into the right place. And that's why when you look at any company, when there's problem, who do they fire? They fire the world, the top leaders. They let them go first. Is that true?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
true?
Yes, sir.
That will only happen in a company that don't have strategic leader. You cannot let your strategic leaders go. The people they will fire is those people under. They will let the casual workers go. But once you have a strong, valid, strategic team, you can't let them go. Because you can always employ any other person on the street and train them. But once you have a strategic quality leader, it will be very hard for you to let them go. Because they are the one that will build the business. So in your business right now that you're doing, you need to provide strong and effective leadership. You need to go for training. You need to own your skills. You need to get more talent. You need to improve whatever that is up there. I'm glad that you guys are here today to learn about, what we are teaching you guys. Because when you bring that knowledge into your business, it's going to boost your business. So a leader must constantly look for ways to improve. Ways to get knowledge, ways to network, collaboration, and all of those things, right? So I'm just going to say one or two things and then I would end and take more questions. Now, on strategy again, when you are drawing up your strategy, please, if you don't take anything away from this meeting, take this one. Let the strategy be custom made to your situation, to your circumstances, to where you want to go. Don't look at what somebody else is doing and you want to copy and paste. Most time it does not work. It does not work. Make sure that your plan is custom made for you, for your business, for your current situation, and for where you want to be, where you see and that's where vision comes in. You don't have to copy what the other person is doing. And that's why when you go to different banks or different VUCA or different things, most of them have different operations. So make sure that whatever plan that you are drawing or whatever vision is unique, is specific to where you are and where you want to get to. I always tell this stuff when I go to speak to people, but when I motivate them to be real, to be you, to face their race, to win their race, of the story of a man who was jogging early in the morning. And as he was jogging, he looked back, he saw another man that was jogging very, very fast. Now, because he did not want that man to catch up with him, what did he do? He started running faster. But he got to a point, by the time he looked back, the other man just went his way. And he found out that he has passed his own block 5 times. So what did he do? He had to turn back and start running back Why? Because he was running from a competitor who was not competing with him at all, or he was competing with somebody that was going in a different direction. So in your business, you need to ensure that you are running your race and that whatever thing you are designing is custom made, is based on your strength, is based on the opportunity you see, is based on your leadership character, is based on all the things that you looked at and you custom made it to your business. Now, why is that important? It's very, very important. If it's custom made, you will know where you can adjust it if something is not going right. You know how to reset, you know how to evaluate, and most importantly, you know how to reset your goals. Now, we know that goals are not static. Sometimes goals change. Life happens. Like Amaka said, you already planned that by so time you have reached out to 1 million people, but life happens. Now, if your goals or your strategies are custom made, you will know how you can adjust it. For example, there was a man who had a staff, he had invested so much in that staff. All of a sudden, the staff said he was growing. And guess what? The staff was going to take all the clients. Now, what did the man do? The man knew because he of already customized his vision and his plan, and he knows how he got the clientele. He just reached out to those clientele and had a way of blocking that guy, right? So that when the guy was trying to take them, they told the man that we are loyal to your boss, we cannot leave. Why? Because that man in his plan have a loyalty content in the plan, so that every client he has, he made them to loyal to him. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So in every plan that you are designing for your business, right? You must draw it to be specific to your goals, to where you want to be, so that at any point in time you can edit, subtract, add, remove, modify, and most importantly, walk through it. Okay. Now, very key to strategy, you must put in innovation. You must give room for innovation. This is the last thing I'm saying now. Oh God, time has gone. I have some meetings. Okay. You must give room for innovation whenever you are making a new plan. The room that we have today is an innovation for meeting. Somebody thought about it. The Teams, which other one again? Teams, Zoom, Duo. It's an innovation. So, in your plan, in your business, what is the innovation that you are putting in? Social media is one of them. Website is one of them. Which other innovation are you bringing in? In the next 5 years, what innovation do you think is coming in? Can somebody tell me what innovation? They were saying that innovation years ago, but innovation is the main thing now. What's that? Can somebody tell me? There's one innovation that everybody is talking about now, but that innovation started a few years ago. What's that? AI.
Artificial
Thank
intelligence.
you very
AI,
much. AI.
AI, trends
AI.
first.
Yes. AI started, just like Zoom. Zoom and Teams started years ago before COVID. I started using Teams and Zoom years before COVID, like 2 or 3 years, because somebody was an IT person and brought it to our church and we're doing that. So when COVID happened, that everyone was saying Zoom. We have been using all those things since a year or two before. So it was not new to us. So in 5 years' time, as you are planning your business now, because all of you like money, that's why people go into business. You don't want to save lives like us. So in your business, when you are planning, please factor in innovation, factor in AI. You'll be so shocked what AI can do these days. AI can design anything from your business customization to logo to anything to even say market strategy. AI can help you. So when you're planning for it, plan for innovation. It is very, 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 very important. So as I end this section, the process of you packaging all those things, knowing your customer, we're going to talk about business plan in detail. Somebody else, I know is very experienced, will tell you that in planning all those things, your strategic plan, must factor in all of these things. The strategy is that detailed stuff that helps you to achieve every of your plan, and each strategy will be custom made for your business. And also, we also put in planning your audience or your clients. You are not going to come out if you are into a business of selling food 4 to 5, or sorry, 8 to 5. You know that that plan cannot work during Ramadan because people will be fasting between 8 or between 7 and 7. So it means in your plan you must put there that on Ramadan time you're going to be selling for maybe 7:30 downward when people will be breaking their fast. All right. So strategy helps you to know what you want to achieve. It gives you the link between where you are and most importantly, where you want to get to. What differentiates succeeding business and business that are not thriving is simply because of their strategic plan and policy. And if you go and look at it, if you go to any website of any company doing well now, you will have an idea of their vision, their mission, their goals, and their core values, and most importantly, how they are achieving those things. And key to that is leadership. Key to that is knowing your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. And lastly, customizing whatever you want to do to your peculiar situation. All right. I will stop here. And of course, very importantly too, in your strategic plan is your branding. Somebody else will teach you about branding. You must brand yourself. Years ago, when you mention my name, they will tell you that guy is a looter, right? They know me in my class. If nobody is talking against injustice and this guy is there, they know that I will talk, right? That is my brand. That is my brand. So your business must have a reputation, and your branding must go along with your reputation of prompt delivery, your reputation of quality, your reputation of kindness, your reputation of good things, of integrity. That's some of the things that help your business to thrive, that helps every of your strategic plan to succeed. All right. With these few points of mine, I mean, there's so much I can talk about, but I want to throw the what's it called now? The meeting open for more questions, clarification, uh, addition, subtraction, and the rest of them. All right, it's open. I wanted to take something, but let me ask people to give me more questions. All right, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. My question is, can I ask a question, sir?
Yes, please go on.
Concerning my own part, I'm a welding engineer. I make doors, gates, hand dwellings. I build houses as well, lintel and lights. But currently, you made about the SWOT analysis. So I'm thinking what is affecting me now is the threat, because the power supply is giving us very issue. I don't know what I can do to customer. Should I ask the customer to give me money for fuel, or what do you think I can do in order to keep my customer, sir?
Mhm. Okay, normally for that, there are business consultants that you're supposed to pay, but I'll give an idea. Now, so you have a business, right? You do this, you do that. Is there a possibility? Now, I'm asking you now in the next 5 years that the method that you're currently using now needs to upgrade. Is it possible that you look at what is being done in China, what is being done in the US for the same thing you are doing? Is it possible that machines could be doing those things? If there are machines that you have, is there an upgrade to that machine? If I want to come and compete with you now, and I see that you are using hands to do all the things you are doing, of course, that will waste time. The number of people you are also employing to do those things, I will just look what you are doing and then, okay, I'll go to China. What are they doing there? I import those machines, right? And I automate them. Who do you think will achieve more results, me and you?
You, sir. You, sir.
So those are how you need to be looking at when you're making strategic plan for your business. What do I need to do to upskill my business and take my business to the next level? Not basically about what are the challenges that I'm facing now. Yes, there will be challenges, you will overcome them. But when we're talking about strategic plan, is the those plan that will help you to upgrade from where you are right now to being more competitive and to expand, to grow, to scale. Now you are doing stuff now. This is how I'm thinking. I'm strategic than you, and I'm like, okay, well, this guy is supplying this person. Okay, what can I do in my welding stuff that will make me bigger, better? You know, I may not even need to raise something. I'll just go and look for people like you, four of them, start a company, and start looking for how I can get grants from or get contracts and use that money to start that business. And some of your friends will be working there, right? Will be working there, and they'll be giving me, I'll be getting 5 times of the productivity that we are doing right now. The business is not coming. Why? Because somebody that did not know about the job, but the person is strategic and is thinking, are going to get more plans, more gadgets, and is taking away your business. And that's what I want you to think. Now, as regards there's no light, should you charge your client and everything? The answer is simple. Your cost at the end of the day is the function, of course, of every factor of production that got into it: time, materials, manpower, everything. You're going to put everything together. If cost of fuel has gone up, you're going to factor it in place, right? And the cost consumer we have to pay for it. So how many minutes will it take you? How many minutes will it take you to make that stuff in terms of power? You're going to factor it into that cost. And then when they are coming, you just give it to them and say, this is your price. You have to tell them to pay for fuel. The cost of fuel will have to go into the cost of production. And of course, the customer will have to pay. They have no choice. If they can't pay, they go somewhere else. I don't know if that answers the
Yes, sir. Thank you very
question.
much.
But the purpose of this talk is not for you to be going to your day-to-day business. It's how you can upskill and you can begin to think of how can I expand my business. If you have a plan to expand, if you have a goal to expand to get those machines, the way you think will be different. Every money you make, you will save it towards importing that machine. Or you may even need to now say, okay, let me get more people to invest in this thing. When they invest in it as a sole business now, if you go private liability or you go PLC, more people will invest in it, and then you can bring those machines, and then you are making more money, and then you can employ more people. That's how we all need to be thinking, and that's a strategic thinking. And that's why it seems as if you pay all the CEO more money because what they do is that they are always thinking. They're thinking. Whereas those on the technical aspect, that all they do is what they are always doing. So thinking is much more important than what? Than the physical thing and the technicalities. And that's why you see the CEO, the car, the driver, everything, because he must constantly be thinking 24/7 because he's a strategic
Yes.
thinker. All right. So don't blame, don't envy those people. Don't envy them. They're always thinking, right? All right, next question. Maybe two or more
I'll
questions
be
before.
thinking as well.
All
Don't
right.
worry, we'll
Thank you.
continue
Thank
you.
you so much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much, sir, for the insight.
You're welcome.
Thank
One
you
or
Thank
two
very,
more questions
you. This
before
is
I
thank
close
you
Romano.
very
again.
much, sir.
This is
You're
Thank you,
Romano
sir,
welcome.
speaking. I
for the
quickly
You're
want to
detail
welcome.
of
just
today. I want
can I continue?
to ask a question, sir. Hello, can
Okay,
I
please go
continue?
on. Please go on. Please go on.
I was
Okay, you
actually
talked
talking.
about, oh,
Oh, okay. Sorry. If Ayo, let me take Romanos. Romanos, you have the floor.
All right. Thank
Ayo, I'll
you,
take it
sir.
afterwards.
All right. Like I said, as we are speaking, I probably saw areas where I've made mistakes very recently. You get me? In talking about
Okay.
strategy. And when we are doing the physical class section, on the last day, I was able to rush down to close a deal. I am into entertainment, filmmaking, and every other entertainment and brand. So then I went to close a birthday party plan. I was to plan for someone, having listed out everything. But like I said, I did a mistake. And the mistake I did, as we are talking, was not to have initiated payment on that day, just because I didn't want to fall into the temptation of not spending the money. But within the space of few days, some of the thing I've listed for was taken. The woman telling me the son could handle this, could handle that. So I felt, oh, I've done a mistake, a business mistake, which I've learned not to do again. Once I'm closing a deal, I need to initiate payment. Again, that is like we are talking. I was so listening and trying to draw out my company or my business mission and vision and statements. I will only say, how do we now overcome the general threats that we face here as a young growing entertainer who would want to do a lot of things around young persons, around projecting fresh faces, which many people don't do. I saw an opportunity of bringing to every Catholic a platform where all Catholics subscribe to. And it's a very big market because it's a very big opportunity for them. But then not having funds is a threat. So how can we, in this part of this country, overcome this normal and general threat of fund sourcing? Yes, you talk about business plan. Maybe that might be another way to go about. But then, what can you say about this general threats of every businessman in Nigeria? Thank you.
Okay. All right. So funding is not a threat. Let me start from that. Funding is never a threat. Funding itself is an opportunity, if you see it that way. Now, the first thing I want to say for your business, the mistake that you made. Now, if you reach out to me and say, Sam, can you do this? If I can do that thing, then I have every right to bill for it. Now, so what mistake was I doing? I was doing free things for people. I could do an MC. I could do so many things. I'm so philanthropic in my mindset. For my association, then I would do because I have leverage of good relationship. So something of 50,000, I could tell a friend that please do it for me, and they would do it for me for 5,000 naira, right? And I have that goodwill. God has blessed me with some good people. In my mind, I'm doing for association because I'm an association, I'm an ESCO, blah blah. I'll do it. So what happened one day? What changed? What changed my mind? That they pay me. I was going to do something for them, and they were saying there was no money, and then I called off I said, okay, do it for me. And said, Sam, don't worry, they will do it. So some of them were free, some of them were, imagine getting 95% discount, right? Because it's me. When somebody else was going to do that thing, that person first of all, got 50,000, right? Now, for Zoom that I was doing for them, I was doing Zoom for free. I was just, okay, don't worry, just subscribe. And when that person was planning the program, he got Zoom for 105,000 naira. And they gave that lady the money. So what? So me, I've been using my skills for you people because that day I just told myself, enough is enough. So what did I do? My business, I registered it. I registered it before, but I was not, because I was not, company of interest. So I said, don't call me. I'm not interested. But if you bring your business to me, if you say, Sammy, can you do that? I say, oh, there's a business, there's somebody who does this. I know the business, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then that business, because I'm not the business is an entity. I tell the guy, yeah, go and bring a quotation, blah, blah, blah. And I give it to them. So this is what the business will do. And guess what? Because I know that the business will deliver quality. So I give them 10% discount. And I can tell you from there, that was how I started making money. From that, another association would call, enemy will call you. Oh, Sammy, we hear you did this for this. Can you do it for us? Sure. There's a business. Yeah, take. So before you discuss, you give them quotation, and that quotation lasts for only 48 hours. After 48 hours, if you are calling me again, we are going to review it. So that was a mistake my friend Romano did. When that woman called you, you just discuss with the person and give them that quotation. This is 24, 48 hours. If they are interested, tell them to send 70% to you. Start. Once they send 70%, they cannot change their mind. By the time you finish delivering, that's what you want. Some, you say that same day, you collect your money before you do. Or you say, okay, after. If you know the person very well, you can give them after. But if you don't trust them, collect your money that day, do your thing, and you still that day. That is still part of your business model we talked about. how you do your business. Don't go and do business and say, hey, don't worry, we do credit. If you are doing credit in Nigeria, you're on your own. Nigerians are very terrible when it comes to paying money, paying their debts. But of course, except you have this very strong relationship with that person or that company and they always keep to their word, you can do that. Other than that, don't do that. But all of these things are still part of the business module or business model that you run. Now, my old boys, I was doing free medicals for them. I was doing free medicals. I would go, I would do blah, 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 because I'm passionate, I'm philanthropic. But it got to a point and I said, no more, no more. If I'm going to come and do anything, in short, they asked me to come and stream for them. I told them 500,000 minimum. I'm going to give you 50%. 250. They were begging me. I am old, but I said, yes, but I'm old boy. Am I not paying dues? Am I not doing this? But business is different. And they begged me and I did it for them for 250,000. That's business. So you must separate business from personal. From personal, I can give you that 250K for support, but I'm not going to come and give you my business and say I'm using my business. That one has stopped. Tete. And that was how in less than a month, I made over $1 million from that business, because at that point I separated myself and my skills from the business. Something I was giving for them free of charge. Now I'm making money from it. So yeah, separate that, have a model that you do. And yeah, some bad business will go. That's understandable. If you're particularly going into consulting and it will go. But trust me, if you do one good job, people don't know I MC. I used to do MC for anytime. I was coming from Ife and they called me from last week. They say, yes, you come and MC. And I say, oh, doctor, I don't have time. Okay, I will come. How much? You don't want, just say 50K. Let me just do for 50. You're my friend now. And by the time I went there, I told them when I go to speak for brands, for all those malaria and everything, minimum they will give me is 150, some of them 250, depending on how rich they are. So if I'm coming to do MC, I don't expect less, but because of relationship, make it 50K. When the CMD of Lasuth was going to talk, he said, I was wondering why out of all the people in Lasuth, they had to go to Lut. Don't mind you, I was in Lasuth before I went to Lut. Don't my reason say, I was wondering why people had to go to Lut to go and get an MC where in Lasuth. But now that I see, I think he has done a good job. So if you are good, they will look for you. But you don't have to now bring down yourself, because of one wants to. So improve yourself, and that's still part of strategy. That's still part of brand. That's still part of reputation. If you do one good job now, people like me, when I recommend anything to anybody and I say this person is good, they take my word. But if you are not good or you disappoint me and I say, that person, you see, maybe I say that my friends know me. For someone who is a critic, say this thing is not good, they will not patronize you. So word of mouth is very, very important. Whatever business that you do, the reputation comes first, not even the money. Once you have good reputation, those reputation will go before you and will bring in more businesses, okay? For other things like Nigeria, you have to be strong. There's a lot of factors that come into place, right? I don't know, but God will give you wisdom. If you have to, sometimes you have to bribe some people, Somebody told me there's a difference between bribe and gift. That gift is what you give before the contract. I don't know. I mean, people are doing a lot of shit, and I don't know how to do it. But for me, if I'm going to do anything, if you want me to give a commission, I will tell you point blank, no. However, I could put that commission on the business and say, okay, if you want me to put it, but this is my stuff cannot go less than this. And I'll give you that quotation. Once my quotation comes in, this is your PR, take your 10%. That's it. But I cannot give you part of my own profit. It cannot happen. And that's why some of us don't really like doing business in Nigeria, because it can be very, very, very funny. But that also still has to do with your values. What values? If your value is about integrity and accountability and respect, then you know there are some shady things you cannot do. But if you don't value integrity and you value money, then you can do anything you want to do for your business. We have to fix it maybe in the future when it comes to reputational tests and everything. So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question. One more question before I say goodbye and allow my VP project to take over. One more question. I wanted to ask a question earlier on. Okay, Blessing. Amaka, okay. Go on, please.
Question. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, please, go on.
Okay,
Yes, please.
thank you very much for your lecture. I really appreciate it. So here we talk about integrity and the reputation. And I just want to, it's an offside question, although it might come in handy. As someone who happens to play a very key role in such organizations, and these organizations
I can't hear you clearly. I think you're far from the speaker. I can't hear you clearly. Yeah, I'm struggling, but you can. Yeah, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, better now.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes. We can hear you now.
So I'm talking about integrity and reputation. So if you find yourself in a position where you are holding key positions in such organizations, and there's a demand for your product or services which are known to the people in the organization, based on integrity and reputation, how do you try normally, or you just apply that sense of belonging? I heard what you said about your old boys situation and all of that, but I'm talking about church now. So do you apply the same principles that apply to your handling other customers, or the certain, and this is like an advice? How do you advise your church?
I didn't get your question. I get, what's the question?
The question is, when you're drawing up your business model, and
okay,
I'm trying to paint a scenario where you find yourself at the helm of such organizations and make bigger decisions. For instance, my church is planning a program that will require getting some of the things that I sell. So if I'm going to be doing pricing based on integrity, how do you advise I apply pricing? Should it be as it applies to other channels, or should there be a certain discount based on the fact that it's a church?
If your church is doing a program and they reach out to you to do some things, Abby?
Yes, sir. Based on integrity and reputation.
Okay, so two things for church. Because of the religious inclination, basically, we do, for example, like one of the services I provide is free medical health, which is I'm not going to charge church for anything.
Okay.
I'm not going to charge church for everything. My friend just sent me good news. Oh, she got a job. Okay, I'm happy for that. All right. Yeah, that's good news. So I can't charge church for anything. Yeah, you can't charge church for anything. So you're going to offer that to God if that is your value, right? But there are certain things that you can reach out to you. Maybe if you're a caterer, right? You can choose to. So this is what I know that somebody I know does, who actually happens to be a pastor and provides. So what he does is he calls it CSR, right? It does call it CSR and provide those services to the church. But then when it's filing, it ties that as part of his CSR, right? To get tax rebate or tax refund, all of those things. So if that can work for you, fine. Or two, if you don't think it's a big deal, if your church calls you to come and offer services, now that's not you. Then they reach out to your business. That's why you will have a manager to undo that. I'll give an example and I hand because of time. I usually would do something every year, annual stuff like leadership and then health stuff, right? We do physical and all of those things. But things are hard. I can't have to do for money in Nigeria. And I'm not that rich anymore to be spending my money the way I used to do it for where I would do play outreaches. So we're online. So I was going to do World Mental Health Day and I've got a psychiatry and I needed somebody. And I was going to reach out to a Aproko doctor. And then I called a friend who knew the friend, talk doctor who was like a junior colleague. And he said, Chief, please talk to, I'll give you the manager. When I called the manager, for 30 minutes, they told him to come and pay 700,000. I said, sure, 700K for, if Aproko or anybody calls me to come and speak, I don't charge them for anything if you're a colleague. So that dawned on me. I said, wow, 700K, that's even discount for him to appear on my live. I said, sure. I said, I've been dulling myself. Maybe it's high time I also go and build my social media platform, right? And start talking so that when people call me, maybe, I'll just charge them and say 1 million. But he has grown. A doctor maybe would have met long time ago, but I don't have that personal relationship with him. If I had personal relationship with him, he may have honored me to come, but I don't have it. But for him, his time is that amount of money. But the consultant I called is my chief, is a consultant, he's much more experienced than Aproko, and I did not pay him a dime. So that also comes in. So it also depends on your values, your relationship. But if it's strictly business, please build them as your business deems fit. Don't give them discount at the expense of your business. You must have that business etiquette to say this is business and keep it business. If your business allow CSR or discount, give it to them. But if not, please just remove yourself and say let your manager attend to them, and they will do it. I reached out to my pastor for support. He sent me to his manager. Manager billed me 200K. I ended up paying 150K. I didn't say it was my pastor. It was business and he still spreaded his money. So separate business from personality or from pleasure. It's very, very important that you do that. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 minutes for somebody, or maybe 3 or 4 people, to tell me what they have gained or what their take home is today. And if they have, like the church will say, if they have been blessed one way or the other. So maybe 3 or 4 people. I know time has gone. So that I know that I've not wasted my time. I'm working now and I'm doing meetings. So 3 or 4 people to just let me know if they've gained anything. So I'll start with Messi, Ayo, and then 3 more people. What have you learned today?
Thank you very much, sir, for your teaching. One particular thing that I've learned today is to be accountable. Yes, to be accountable. And to me, I really feel that I'm lacking in that aspect in my business. I don't I take things should I say I don't take things seriously. I take it as if, okay, because I'm just starting, so no more seriousness in it. When money comes in, I spend it. So, but today I have learned that I have to be accountable. If I want to really be a good leader, I have to be accountable. I have to know what I'm doing for my business to grow. I have to strategize and do a lot of things. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Damilola Lawal. I'm going to call randomly. Thank you, Ayo. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir.
You're welcome. Damilola, are you there? And
Yes,
then,
sir.
so what have you learned today? And then Abiodun Akonde will go. Then Raymond
Okay.
will be the last person.
Okay, sir. Are you with me, sir?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, sir. So basically, I have learned a lot today. Well, I'll just try to summarize what I've learned. Well, I've learned about business plan, and I learned that business plan helps in decision making and sustainability. And I also learned that there are steps to strategic planning, which is we should always make sure that we write our goals, mission, and vision down, and our objective, instead of just talking, and we should always pen it down. And I also learned SWOT analysis. Like every business, we should have a SWOT analysis, like our strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So that is what I've learned. And one thing I hold dearly was when you said we should always give room for innovation whenever we are picking a business plan. So that was what I learned, sir.
Okay, thank you. And then who again that call? Let me take Raymond and then I take one more person. Raymond.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Everybody's on this show. Everybody's answering at the same time. That's good. Keep on following.
Thank you very much
All
for
right.
the invitation. It's really impactful. Although I had network issues and I joined late. All right. So I joined at the time you were speaking about how to handle our businesses, how not to do our businesses for free of charge, how to know how to charge our customers rightly and collect our money. Okay. So, however, I actually wanted to ask one question. Okay. What will I do? What will I do when a customer called me to come and check a particular work? But getting there, after I've checked the work, I discovered that the work is above my scope to handle, and I don't have the financial capabilities to handle such a project at the time. So, what do you suggest I should do in that regard?
Okay, it depends on your core value. If there's integrity, you let the person know that I'm sorry, this thing is beyond my scope. However, for me to make sure that this is done, these are what and what will require for me to get somebody to do it. Then you call the person, you know the price, and you put your cost on it, maybe 10% or 20%, right? Simple. For the person you're also bringing, you need to be sure because you are the one bringing that person, right? Has to be someone that will deliver quality, right? Has to deliver best services. Simple, right? Because if the person does not do well, it's gonna be on you because you brought the person, right? And that's even what the Igbos do. If they don't have a part, they'll tell you I'm coming. They'll go and get the part from somebody else and then they'll bring it to you, and then they will mark up the price. And that's why the reason why they are doing that is they want you to be able to come back to them next time. They don't want to lose you as a customer, right? So anything you can do, get someone that can do it, but make sure the person you are bringing is somebody that will deliver excellently, not someone that will be shady or do a terrible job and everything. I hope that answers the question. Okay, I think I will just go on straight to.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll go on straight to Jill Lawa because time has gone. My VP project, over to you for your remarks. Thank you all also for having me. I appreciate you all.
Well, I think we all need to use the reaction button to give Dr. Samuel Okerinde a resounding round of applause for that session. Please, I would like to see you using the clapping of hands emoji to appreciate Dr. Samuel Okerinde. Thank you so much, sir, for that session. Of course, there's no need to ask again if how the session was from the feedback. Everybody giving. Yes, please also use the comment section. Yes, to also drop your applause or whatever way you want to appreciate DSO, like I would like to call him. Yes, please, you can also drop that in the comment section. Thank you so much, DSO, for the time spent explaining the concept of business planning and strategic planning to us. I must confess that I personally also learned a lot. Yeah, I've been in business for a while, and I will say, there's always this thing where you sit down and you're listening, you keep learning, and it's like a renewal to you. So thank you so much, Doc, for sharing this time with us and with everyone of